Now, let's get to what we supposed to have talked to you about last week too, man. So last week, obviously, me and Deke, man, we got to talking about our top 10 running backs currently going into this upcoming season. And it was funny because I did not think that me and Deke would have a disagreement. We had a little disagreement, man, behind these running backs, baby. It was funny, man. So shout out to the top 10 running backs and me and Deke having our disagreements on these running backs, baby. All right. But we need your top 10, man. And we know that you had them prepared last week. So hopefully you still have them prepared this week. But we need to hear from you, man. How you feeling about, that RB position, man? Because obviously Najee is one of ours. Jalen Warren is one of ours. And, they could be lightning rods when it comes to these top 10 lists.
Yeah.
Which is what we saw last week, man. So shout out.
Nice. That position is so, undervalued. It's still such a position of need, but it's like, it's just so undervalued. You feel like you can get anybody to do it, but anybody can't do it. You gotta know what you're doing. And you gotta be able to block. Like, there's so much more to it. So it's like, we say in the top 10, just top 10, like all the pieces involved, right?
What's happening?
Okay.
That's
so
what we saying. Talk to me. Yeah.
10-1.
I got Christian McCaffrey is the best running back in the league.
Okay, little Christian McCaffrey. All right, little CMC. All right. He started right at the top. You see him? He was like, I'm just go right here. We're gonna write it to neck.
Honestly, yeah. 5 to 10 is probably more interesting anyway.
Low key, I think that's where we had our disagreements.
Number 2.
Let's go.
Number 2 is Saquon.
Okay.
Over D. Henry.
Hold on, let him cook, Deke. Let him cook, Deke. Don't do that to him. Let him cook.
Number 3 is Derrick Henry. King Henry.
All right, let's go. Let him cook, Deke.
Number 4 is Bajan.
We got Bajan.
Oh.
We got Bajan. Okay.
The young pup is 4.
Okay.
Oh my.
Okay, let him cook, Deke. Let him cook.
Number 5 is Josh Jacobs.
Okay, we're with Josh. All right.
That's a horse.
Let's go.
Number 6, I got Joe Mixon.
Ooh, okay. Shout out to Joe. Shout out to Joe. Little Houston Texan. Yeah.
They were calling Joe baby like Le'Veon.
That baby Le'Veon. Facts.
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 Oh my.
Woo,
Number 7.
this is real.
This is my list, right?
It's your list, baby. Talk to me.
You got Jalen in there.
Let him talk. Let him cook. Let him cook, Deke. Let him cook.
Number 7, I got Breece Hall, man. Breece Hall ain't
I got him up there too.
All right. Talk that talk. Talk that talk, TG.
Gotta respect it. Like, that's a guy.
Let's go. He's cooking, Deke. He's cooking. I love it. Let's go. It's your list. I want your list to be authentically you. Me and Deke aren't giving you no feedback. Just cook. We want you to just cook real quick, bro. Just cook.
I'm just, it got weird here. Number 8. See, I went with Raheem Mostert, that boy out of Miami. Like,
we know that you like your Miami, your MIA. Come on, man.
I like I'm a speed guy.
Fast guys out front. That's what he's saying. All right.
Yeah, it got weird around here. Where I was at number 9.
Yeah, this number 9 right here. Who you got?
Yeah, this one it started to get weird because, I like Kenneth Walker. Like, I like that guy.
Man.
Talk to me. Is that number 9 on your list?
Yeah, that's number 9 on my list.
All right.
That's a horse. That's a deer.
So you stay. I like how you staying home. You keeping your blood right. You got your Dolphins blood. You got your Seahawks blood. All right. What you got at number 10 then, baby? Which was at number 10?
That was weird because this when it got weird. I did because I like certain people. You know what I mean? Like I like certain people. But it's like, this my list?
It's your list, baby. 100% your list. Talk to me. Hey, you ain't apologizing to nobody. Deke ain't apologizing to nobody for his list. I ain't apologizing for my list. You for certain ain't apologizing for your list, D. I mean, come on, TG. Talk to me, man. So who you got at number 10?
I had Jahmyr Gibbs. Like, I think that's a bad name. You know what I mean? That boy out of Detroit. You know what I mean?
Hey, shout out to Gibbs. Gibbs is definitely a name. Gibbs is definitely a name, man.
You know what I mean? Like, that boy out of KC was like a.
Do you got honorable mentions? So you got honorable mentions? Pacheco? Okay.
Yeah, Pacheco.
That was
kind of like him and Tony Pollard. Like those.
Tony Pollard? Okay, yeah.
Tony Pollard, those was like right there, but that was kind of. That's my team. You know what I mean? And then
No Nick Chubb.
I just didn't consider that because it got hurt like that. You know what I
You're
mean?
doing it like the top 100 list.
Okay.
Kinda,
Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
I
Okay.
kind of pulled that out because of that injury like that.
Okay.
I'm like,
Okay.
I just don't know what that is anymore. Like, you know.
Okay. No
Like,
Jonathan Taylor? What about Jonathan Taylor?
no, I didn't have Jonathan Taylor in there.
Okay.
And I like Jonathan. You know, I always kind of felt the way. I like Jonathan Taylor. That's not like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I like Jonathan Taylor though. You know, that was kind of like in my 10 spot,
Mm-hmm.
like him, that boy out of the Rams.
Kyron Williams. I was about to ask you about him.
Kyron
Yeah.
You know? Like he runs hard. ETN runs hard.
No. What about ETN? What about ETN? Let's talk ETN.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. ETN was kind of in that little list of like the last ones. But
yeah. What about your boy? No, Najee.
No, he kind of was in that list of like the next ones.
How about Jalen Moore?
All right. Yeah. What about 30? Jalen Warren.
We just need to get him the ball more. When he gets the ball, he's one of the most efficient
I think
backs in the
Jalen
league.
Warren's gonna be a really good running back.
All right. Talk that talk. Talk that talk.
I think he get enough carries, like he'll be in that group.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's the only thing missing from him.
It's kind of like the same with Gibbs. Like Gibbs shares the ball a lot.
With Montgomery, Montgomery's a 1,000-yard rusher
Seriously,
too.
man.
In his own right.
Montgomery don't make your list?
That's what I'm saying. Like it kind of was like, see, I like Gibbs. I think Gibbs could go somewhere. I think Gibbs by himself is a featured back.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Okay.
I just think he actually has to share the ball, but I think he's a featured back. You know?
Hey, what I was gonna ask you was another back too. The Pro Bowler. What team is he? Oh, James Cook, the one up in Buffalo. I forgot all about him, man. Yeah. How you feel about him? Because he cooked all your little dudes you've been naming. I was just wondering. Yeah.
I didn't have him super like he's, you know.
Oh, I was just wondering. I was just curious. I ain't know, bro, because he don't split no backfield either. I was curious, bro. That's it.
Ball security issues, huh, TG?
Hey man, he don't do that a lot either. About to say, yeah, he cooks. He cooks, man. You know.
I think he's in that ETN conversation, like.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like a good year this year, he gets a lot of notoriety.
What about Alvin? Little Kamara? None of that.
I mean, he's not in the 10 right now. He's still the dog. Like when he turns it on, he's him. He's top 5 when he turns it on. It's kind of like, you know, I just think it hasn't really been turned on in him. You know, like he's still trying to kind of find his rhythm again.
All right, so let me reread your list. I'm gonna read. You good? Oh no. Yeah, listen, I'm just asking because these are some of the names that were on me and Deke's list that, you know, we kind of had some friction about. So that's what I'm trying to see how you feel about some of these players. But just to rehash your list real quick, at 10, you had Jahmyr Gibbs. At 9, Kenneth Walker. At 8, Raheem Mostert. At 7, Breece Hall. 6, you went with Joe Mixon. At 5, you went with Josh Jacobs. 4, you went with Bijan. We got Bijan, baby. Then at number 3, you went with King Henry. 2, Saquon. And at number 1, Christian McCaffrey. All right, just make sure we was all solid. That's accurate, correct? What'd you say? Oh, no.
Yo. TG.
Yeah, you can hear me?
All right, I got you now. So, yeah, we just make sure that was the list. That was accurate, right? No changes, correct?
I was saying I think Chubb's a top 10 running back. I just think he got that freak injury.
Respect.
You know? I think Chubb's a top 10 running back. Like, if there was like an asterisk, like, Chubb's a top 10 running back. You know?
All right. So, barring his injury, right, if we're saying he comes back and he is Chubb, where would you put him at with your current list? You can have the asterisk. You can have the asterisk.
Number 5, right behind Bijan.
Okay, but 5 right behind Bijan. Okay, respect on that. All right, so Deke, how you feel about his list, man? Gibbs at 10, Walker at 9.
I think it's missing some black and gold, but no, I mean, I get it. If anything, I think it goes back to what I was talking about last week. And TG, my one big takeaway from like the running back position right now, like the state of it, is like you got your top 4, top 5. That's pretty solid. And I think we all agree. We all have McCaffrey, Henry, Saquon, and Nick Chubb, like Josh Jacobs in like that top 5, top 6. But then that bottom 5, you could probably interchange like 15, 20 different names, really.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that.
Like, you
I
got
think a
Najee
lot of
Harris,
people.
Brees Hall, Jalen Warren, James Conner, James Cook, Jahmyr Gibbs, DeAndre Swift, David Montgomery. You brought up Raheem Mostert, Etienne, Mixon, Pacheco, Tony Pollard, Jonathan Taylor, the dude from the Rams, like you said. Well, like, you could throw any of those dudes in like that bottom 5 and like have a legit case. But then when you're going to your list, like, everyone's got their own like personal preference. So I got Najee at 7. I got Jalen Warren at 10.
No. Start at 10 and go down.
I'm just saying.
No,
Like,
start at 10 and go down.
I got
then,
those
yeah.
guys in. TG doesn't
start
have
at
them
10
in.
and bring
But
it
I think
down
everyone
for-
else we agree on.
Give him 10. Give him 10 to 1 real quick for you.
Yeah, I got 10. Jalen Warren, Bajan at 9. I see what you see in Bajan. It's too early.
Listen to him.
It's too early to get him in that top 5 yet.
TG. Let Deke cook. They say when he let you cook. Let Deke cook real quick. Right, read it off 10 to 1. It didn't.
It's just a little too early for Bajan in the top 5. He got to do it again. He's got to do it better this upcoming year too. Brees Hall, though, I'm with you. I got him at 8. I got Najee over Brees Hall, though, at 7. Josh Jacobs at 6. Nick Chubb. Wait, am I missing a name here? Do I only have 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. I only have 9.
Oh, actually, James Cook up there. You be good, bro.
I only have 9.
Put James Cook on your list.
Did I erase a name?
You might have erased James Cook. You probably was hating on James, bro. I know you. Was you hating on James?
No, I'd put Jonathan Taylor at 10 then. I would do that.
That's what it was.
And maybe I'd put him over.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd put him over Jalen Warren. I just wanted Jalen Warren on this top 10 list. Like, he was making the list no matter what.
It is your list, man.
But yeah, I guess that's my top 9. Jalen Warren at 9, Bajan at 8, Brees Hall 7, Najee at 6, Jacobs at 5, Chubb at 4, Saquon at 3, Henry at 2, McCaffrey at 1. What happened to my list? I guess I had 9. I guess I was.
Yeah. I think when you said Jalen Warren last, because you said Jalen Warren at 10, I felt like last time.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I might need to check the tapes.
Seriously, bro.
What happened? Why do I only have 9 names here? Who am I missing? Oh well. I mean, yeah. I'd throw like a Jonathan Taylor in there.
There you go. Yeah.
I'd add him.
Did Pacheco? I don't remember if Pacheco made your original list,
No.
or did you just argue Pacheco?
I didn't argue. He was just one of those guys. Like I said, the bottom 5 of a top 10. I think you could throw a lot of different names in there. And yeah, if someone wanted to bring up Pacheco, TG brought up Pacheco as honorable mention. Like, yeah, I like his running style. He was good for the Chiefs in the playoffs. Like, reliable, all that stuff. Like, if you want to throw him in there, because he's, I think is he back-to-back 1,000 yards, or he's like very, very borderline back-to-back seasons. So yeah, I think you could have him in the conversation. I don't have him in the top 10 though. It's just interesting to me, like, how you have so many like good running backs out here getting 1,000-yard seasons, but then there's like 3 or 4 that I think are above the rest.
You like all them over Bajan though? Bajan's nice.
I know, I agree. He got to do it again. I think it was a tough season for him in Atlanta his rookie year. I don't think he was necessarily utilized correctly. Bad quarterback situation. Like, I was expecting more. But I mean, I think I see the talent. I see all that. I'm with you. Like, I think it's respect for me to put him in the top 10, actually.
I feel that. I hear you.
His list, man. Ain't nothing wrong with it. It's his list.
Sure.
His list, man.
Najee, I got to give
Not
respect for
my
these
side,
3,000-yard seasons.
Exactly. It's his list.
And I think he's going to get an uptick, too, with Arthur Smith being here. Like, this should be his best season yet.
I thought it was hard to put 2 running backs from the same team in there when there's so many running backs.
I was dead set on getting Jalen Warren in here. He's probably my favorite running back.
I love it, bro.
I'm putting him in there. Yeah, the only knock against him, he just needs more carries.
They trying to say that
if he got more carries,
the switch this year, though.
What?
They saying that's supposed to be the switch.
If he got more carries, you'll get to see what he can do, even on a bigger scale. Because like he's getting like 5 yards a carry. You dump it off to him in the backfield, he's making like 2 or 3 guys miss every time.
If he get more carries, you switch those 2.
That's a real question.
I was calling for it for probably about the first 8-9 weeks of last season, so I wouldn't be opposed. But Najee, per usual, picks it up second half of the season, closes it out for us.
That's a big jump from.
He's a winner back. I'm with you on that take. He's a November, December, January back.
He's good for late in the season. All right. I'm not mad at that.
No, yeah. I guess the only difference in terms of players, I got the Steelers in here. I guess I would have been expecting that from a pureblood like you, but it's cool.
He said I wasn't expecting that from a pure blood like you, TG. Dang,
No, we knew Najee
crazy.
wasn't making your list. And I get Jalen Warren is a little bit of a stretch for top 10, but I think he's that good.
He ain't put Najee on it. That man say, nah, Jalen Warren in on this list. Like, yo, all right, respect. But hey, it's your list. Shout out to your list. There's nothing wrong with your list because it's your list.
It's your list.
It's your list, man. All right. Respect on that. So, man, just to keep everything even, I will go ahead and read my list off again as well. At 10, I had Jonathan Taylor. At 9, I went with Bijan Robinson. At 8, I went with the Pro Bowl running back James Cook. At 7, Josh Jacobs. At 6, I went with Najee. At 5, I went with Travis Etienne. At 4, Nick Chubb. At 3, Derrick Henry. At 2, Saquon. And then at number 1, I went with McCaffrey. And my honorable mentions were Kenneth Walker, Raheem Mostert, and Kyron Williams. Now, for me, I looked at it like this.
Y'all don't respect this.
So no, let me talk to you. So, because the same way I let you get yours off, I let Deke get his off. I'm going to get mine off real quick. I had a couple of things that I looked at. I'm looking at the pieces around you. I'm looking at what they're asking you to do also. And the way that this whole argument had kind of started with me and Deke was he had made the case about Pacheco and some of these other guys saying that, hey, man, you could pick any of these dudes and make a case. I look at Pacheco and I say Pacheco's numbers tell one story, but me watching the game tells a different story. I'm not watching the Chiefs and everybody's trying to stop Pacheco. No, I'm watching the Chiefs and everybody's trying to stop Mahomes. So you're going to naturally play certain coverages that are going to allow certain players to statistically look better than what they might be in a different situation where they are not viewed as we would rather he has success today than letting this guy have success. I just think that it's a difference. So that's why Pacheco, that's why Mostert aren't on my top 10, because I look at Raheem and I say, man, if I'm playing the Miami Dolphins and you have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, am I trying to stop Raheem Mostert? Am I trying to stop A-Chain? Am I trying to stop that? Or am I trying to make sure that those dudes on the perimeter don't kill me? And that's part of why, certain guys were a little bit down further on the list than higher up. Now, Bijan, he's got to do it again. And that's getting up even further because he showed a ton already. But I just look at it as, man, you young. Do it again. That's my whole thing with it, man. But I think the rest of my list, man, is pretty solid. Nick Chubb, I said, man, I looked at it as, bro, if he's completely healthy, he's in my top 5. We obviously know that he's coming off the injury, so we will see what that looks like from him. But that was kind of, like I said, my idea with him. And, yeah, McCaffrey is McCaffrey. So, yeah, and until I see Saquon put it together for the full start to finish, not be hurt and stuff like that, like McCaffrey has done it, yeah, I can't make that switch just yet.
I hear you.
And Najee was going to be on my list because Najee, of all these backs that we talk about, and it's oh so easy to get 1,000 yards, it's not as impressive to get 1,000 yards, this and that. Why is he the only one that's consistently doing it year after year after year? So until we bring up some of these other guys that makes it so easy to get the 1,000 yards in 17 games, all this other stuff, until I see somebody else consistently doing it like him, he's going to be on my list. He's going to be on my top 10. So that's kind of why I look at him like that. And he doesn't fumble. Ball security is a must. And he also gives me that as well, man.
You put Joe Mixon on it?
No, but Mixon, to me, I looked at Mixon as if this was a year or two ago where he's a little bit younger in age, he's in my top 10 because he's been in my top 10 up until this year. It's the first time he's actually not in my top 10. But James Cook is also in my top 10, so somebody had to take that spot, baby. Come on, man.
So Mixon has 4,000 yard seasons.
No, shout out to Joe Mixon. Ain't nobody taking nothing away from Joe.
No, I was just
we
more
sure
saying
he hit that last year? I don't know. He's on the downturn.
Yeah, he's definitely been on the downturn. You could check the tape.
He's averaging like 3.8
check the
per
tape,
carry,
man.
I think.
Joe Mixon has his legacy is stamped. We're not talking about that. But if we just saying of the recency part, I think the 10 that I'm naming, I think the only one you can make
1,000 last year.
So once again, though, I think the case that I'm making is this, though. If I'm looking at my list and I'm saying who would I remove for Joe Mixon is Jonathan Taylor, but Jonathan Taylor still recently has led the league in rushing for a whole season, whereas Mixon ain't done that recently. So that was the whole flip side with that too, man. But Joe nice though. Trust me, I've been a fan of Joe game. In terms of on the field,
he's down with the Texans now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he stayed on my top 10. I like Joe. Like him a lot.
I'm still wondering how I have 9 names in my top 10.
Because I'm sure you was hating on somebody while you was making your list. You were so focused on the Steelers, you hated on somebody. And
no,
that's
I'll put Jonathan Taylor in there. Yeah, I will. Yeah, Taylor belongs in there. I'm good with that. Yeah, the knock on him is just his availability these last couple years. When he's out there, he's still running close to the same.
Yeah.
He's playing good. But yeah, he had the whole contract dispute and stuff.
Now,
2 years
in the
ago.
chat they're bringing up, was James Conner on your list?
No,
I don't think he was. I feel like you brought him up, though, right?
He's one of those names where I think you could definitely make a case for. I mean, he's had, is it 2 Pro Bowl seasons out in Arizona? Last year he had over 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
Was good yards per carry and everything. Like, he's been good for them.
I like Jonathan Taylor. I do.
Nah, respect.
Yeah, I'd throw him in the top 10. I'd maybe put him over Warren. Warren just belongs in the top 10. I don't really care what number he is. He's in my top 10.
I like it.
Yeah, that's what people in the chat are saying. They're saying you had Jalen at 10, Deke. I know, but maybe I skipped
because I remember you having I definitely remember you saying Jalen was 10. Yeah.
Maybe I just skipped some numbers or something. I don't know. That's crazy. Because I don't think I'm missing anyone. Like, I don't think I... Oh, well.
And usually I write your list down, too, when we're talking to compare it. And I don't think I have it written down anymore. I think I low-key deleted that joint, bro.
Is what it is. Not the end of the world.
See, I blame you because I'm sure the reason why I didn't. I'm seeking comfort today. All right, I'm sure the reason why I didn't write the names down was because you was coming at my list and you brought up Pacheco, and that's the one I specifically remember having like the biggest like issue with is when you brought Pacheco up.
I didn't even really want to talk about Pacheco. I was just talking about all the running backs that I think are pretty good,
way, bro.
That can get thrown into the mix of like a top 9 or a top 10. Running back.
I think Pacheco doesn't get his respect just simply because he's on KC. Like, everything you said was like, it's a punishment. He's on KC.
So, fair. That's fair. But is Pacheco still viewed as Pacheco if he's with the Colts these past 2 seasons?
Maybe if we don't know how he runs.
Yeah, if you get the work, that's the thing with these running backs. If you just get the carries, you never know.
The first round running back.
Trust me, what I mean? I hear what you're saying. I promise I do. I'm just saying, for me, personal preference, the guys that I named, I think are standalone nice. And I've already seen them be utilized in those situations. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that Pacheco can't. The same way I'm not saying that Jalen Warren can't. But I haven't seen Jalen Warren have Najee Harris's workload and still be available and produce to that level just yet. Not saying that he can't. And I think that's what we're all eager to see this year from 30 specifically is if they shift it where he takes more of the workload, can he sustain it? Can he make sure that there aren't ball security issues? Can we make sure that the availability is consistently there? A lot of backs try to have the Najee Harris workload. It's not a lot of backs, even on my top 10, yours and Deke's, that have been able to sustain that type of workload and consistently be available. Deke just brought it up with Jonathan Taylor, right? Man, when he's available, he's nice as heck. But, man, one of the biggest knocks on Jonathan Taylor is what? Bro, he don't be available all the time. Saquon Barkley. We got him on this list because of how nice he is. But what's the biggest knock on Saquon since he's come in this league, bro? Availability. Can you stay healthy? I look at these dudes. We talk Josh Jacobs. We can go down the list of all these different backs. And I'm like, yo, if we're still saying, yo, with the extra workload, those dudes don't stay healthy all the time. Why is it a foregone conclusion that if Jalen Warren takes the Najee Harris workload or gets this ultra boosting workload that it's going to automatically result in the same level of production? I'm a big 30 fan myself, but that's the only part for me where I'm just like, yo, I respect that part of Najee's game. I don't think that that's something that just is just going to happen, though. And until I see it happen from Jalen or some of these other dudes that we've talked about as well, I'm not going to put them in my top 10 just yet. That's all.